All right, it's been a wonderful Christmas thus far, and basically we're a couple of days away from the New Year's, and there's so much that people are looking forward to in the New Year's. Basically, in relation to 2019, so many games that people are excited to see or looking forward to seeing on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. And, speaking of next year, basically it's possible that the SNES Classic will no longer be in retail because Nintendo had mentioned a couple of days ago that or that they won't be producing the SNES Classic anymore. They won't be producing more consoles, so there'll most likely be less available in retail, and whatever sells out, sells out. And on one hand, there's some people who think, it's wise for them to discontinue the SNES Classic, and, because, it'll allow people to focus more on Nintendo Switch, but there are also people who question whether or not it's a good idea, especially considering how popular the SNES Classic has been since its release back in late September of 2017, and seeing the fact that it was on a roll in terms of sales since its release. It managed to hit at least 5 million units worldwide. I believe it sold over 5 million units worldwide since its release back in September of 2017. And, like with all the momentum Nintendo has had with the Switch and the SNES Classic, some question, whether or not it's a good idea, especially since the SNES Classic can continue generate more revenue for Nintendo. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like, the SNES Classic, it's not quite as big as it was when it first came out, but still it's something that people would kind of, I guess some people would buy it, today or, in the first half of 2019. It would have been interesting if the SNES Classic, they continued, Nintendo continued producing more SNES Classic consoles, because it would have been interesting to see whether or not it would have eventually hit 10 million in sales before 2020. So, but we'll probably never know, because I think it's only been at least a year, or like over a year and a half that the SNES Classic has been out, and eventually once it sells out, it's basically going to sell out. So for those who have not purchased the SNES Classic or have not played it, there's probably there are probably some of those consoles left in retail, give or take. If not, you can always purchase it online on Amazon or eBay, or or whatever site you normally visit. But discontinuing the SNES Classic, on one hand, it's going to be a bummer, but on the other hand, the value of the retro 16-bit console is basically going to increase, especially since it won't be in retail anymore. So for those who have not played it, be sure to pick it up while you still can.